Hello again, welcome to another video about SXConsole, but this time we're going to work in the enterprise version. If you didn't see the video about basic features of SXConsole, you should do this before watching this video. This time I want to show you how you can use our app as an administrator of virtual clusters. In SXConsole, you can find administrators and super administrators. Super administrator can create virtual clusters and assign administrators to them. Single physical cluster can be partitioned in multiple virtual clusters and used by multiple organizations or customers without interfering with each other. As an administrator, you will be responsible for managing volumes and users on your virtual clusters. In this video, let's assume a role of an administrator in a big company which has 3 different virtual clusters for their divisions. Our company opened a new developer sector and hired a Python developer and a product manager. So in this case, let's prepare a volume for them in the developers virtual cluster. Let's call it Python developers. 50 gigabytes should be enough for this volume. And now, when we have their volume, we can invite our new employees. First, let's invite our Python developer. Let's send him an invitation email. And now we can also add our product manager, Brian. Instead of sending him an invitation email, we will set the password for him. After that, we can set the permissions on this volume for our users. First, let's give a manager permission to our product manager and also read access to the Lucas, our Python developer. As a manager, Brian will be able to manage permissions of the other users who have access to this volume. Let me show you how does it work in the SX Web application. SX Web gives you access to the data stored in the virtual cluster through a user-friendly web interface. You don't need an administrator account to manage your volume settings. Now let's log in on the Brian's account. To log in, let's go to the settings, then manage volumes. We can select Python developers volume, and here at the bottom we have the list of the users who have access to this virtual cluster and volume, Python developers. Let's change the Lucas privileges. Actually, we'll give him also the write access. So now he has read and write access. We can go back to the SXConsole, let's refresh, and as you can see, the change also happened here. And now, I also heard that our graphic designers started running out of space, and also they would like to have more histories of their files. So we should take a look at it. Let's go to the edit mode of this for this volume. We change, actually increase the size for it to 100 gigabytes, and here also let's change the number of revisions so that more past versions of every file will be saved. For example, if a number of revisions is set to 20, every file will have additional 19 most recent past versions. So let's give them 20 number of revisions. I was also requested to create a new volume for our managers in the Office virtual cluster. They want to store some really important documents, so because of that they would like to have additional protection. So let's create for them encrypted volume. Let's call it managers. Again, 50 gigabytes should be enough. And here let's simply enable encryption, so the data stored on this particular volume will be encrypted and decrypted on the client side. And now, when we have encrypted volume for them created, we can set the permissions on it. Henry and John are our managers, so they should have read and write access. What is also worth mentioning is that you can check the usage of all of the volumes right here. As you probably noticed, graphic designer's volume has some data on it. If you would like to get more information about the usage on this particular volume, simply click on the access log button. Here you can search the logs by changing the date or by a specific username or volume name. let's say that I would like to see just and only Mike's operations that he made on his volumes. Let's click search, and now, as you can see, on the list we have just and only Mike's operations that he made, like for example upload, download, and etc. So yeah, that's all for now. If you have any questions, contact us using our email address. Also, if you would like to know more about our products, don't forget to check our website. See you next time.